All right,
All right.
here we
We're
are.
live.
We are live. Just gonna check the audio like we do every time.
Is that our speaker?
That's our mic.
All right.
You
Yep,
got it. The old snowball.
Little black snowball. Bucky's here.
Yep. He's our unofficial mascot.
He's our unofficial mascot.
Yep. So, episode number 61. We're back down after what, 2 weeks off? Maybe
Yeah,
3 weeks,
I think
something like
it's-
that.
We've been off a couple weeks.
Talking about ShedFest 25 coming up here April 13th at Solitude Brewing, which is the topic for tonight.
We got Mr. Harvey in the house.
Mr.
Yeah.
Harvey in the house. He braved the winter storm, dude. We had snow
Yeah,
accumulating in the mulch out front.
Yeah, we did too. It was terrible. I was down at camp working this afternoon, and you should have heard the thunder. I mean, just rolling. And then I was wondering, is this thunder? What is it? It just rolled and rolled. It was just like, and it wasn't raining yet, you know?
Yeah.
I saw quite a bit of lightning.
Thunder
I didn't
snow
hear too much
rolling out.
thunder.
Yeah, and then it started snowing. I'm like, wow.
I thought it was hail when I was walking out of work, but it was just those little.
Like sleet or something.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it was crazy weather day. Supposed to get more rain tonight and wind, and
Mhm.
had a lot of wind this year, that's for sure.
yeah, wind every year. Seems like we just got done picking up freaking trails and sticks and everything like that, and I'm sure we'll have another batch of
Yeah.
stuff when we go out for turkey season and everything.
I thought it was supposed to start warming up this week. I was wrong.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's supposed to be 70.
that'll be our one warm day.
One warm day and then she drops again.
Yeah, and then we're cold all next week.
Yep. So,
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
coming
thanks
down.
for coming
He's
down.
over. He's over here. He's hogging the bottle.
I know. I wanted to keep it close.
Yeah, keep it nice and close. But
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, that was fun.
this was Nate's suggestion for the night that we break out an old friend, an old Russell's 10.
There you
So
It's a good go-to.
it's been a solid, dude. It's a solid
Have you
30
sampled it?
go. Yeah,
$38 bottle. It's really, really good.
I've never had it.
Yeah, so it's a wild turkey product. So if you
Okay.
like wild turkey,
Yeah.
it's just got a little more age under it, and it's 90 proof instead of like the 101 proof.
Yeah. Oh, it's very good.
But yeah, that's a nice. I suggest that to guys for like gift bottles or something for somebody. It's a little bit nicer than like a old
You
turkey
see,
bottle or something.
He's
I'm
got
kind of a
mouth,
Russell's
though.
guy.
Yeah, I see that. We got Russells everywhere.
Yeah,
Probably
I like
a cabinet under there of them.
yeah.
Spares. That's a spare.
That's my spares, extras, and ones I haven't opened yet. Yeah. So,
Jesus.
but anyway, so the big topic tonight is ShedFest 2025.
Yeah.
Fest.
Billy, is it Billy Jr.?
No, it's no.
Okay, I didn't know.
Billy.
I didn't know. I never asked. I guess, but
I asked Ben that actually when we left our meeting
Yeah.
the other night at Solitude. I was like, "So is Billy a junior or no?"
No, I'm a
I was
junior.
like, I don't
oh,
know.
okay.
We had there's always like a Bill Harvey and then Bill Harvey and then a Bill Harvey Jr. and then they changed the middle name. We don't have any Bill Harvey the thirds.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's Billy.
Paul and I were in Texas and we went to a Billy Bob's that bar down there, and so we said when we have our first boy, we're gonna name him Billy Bob.
Yep.
So William Robert, he's Billy
Yep.
Bob.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
So funny story about Billy Bob. When I was born, my mom cried. One, because I had red hair. Two was because when the nurse came in and asked what we wanted to name it, my dad jokingly, out of humor, said, "We're going to name him Billy Bob because my mom's dad's name is Bill, and my dad's dad is Robert Bob." So he goes, "Well, we're going to name him Billy Bob." And my mom cried again because she thought
Thought he was serious.
I was going to be a redheaded Billy Bob.
Yep.
But yeah, no. So they ended up compromising, and Nathaniel is actually what they came up with.
How'd they
Came
land
up
on Nate after that?
Because the furthest thing from Billy Bob.
I always thought it was kind of funny stuff.
Yeah. So Billy's busy. He's doing youth baseball, all sorts of stuff. So
Yeah, between his coaching and he's a commissioner of baseball for the community there, so he's in charge of a lot. He's got his plate full between that and work and wrangling the kids and
Yep.
working on his property, his farm there with the Kirsches. So
Yep.
yeah, he was very excited when
had
he
a
called me.
breather. Had to have a little breather.
Yeah, and I said we got to do the ShedFest, and he says, well, I know Ben wants to do it.
Yep. And he's like, I can be there day of. He's like, if you guys want to take point with it. So we've kind of took it by the horns and we ran with it.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's gonna be fun no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, you and me are just kind of getting our feet wet with it this year. We'll see where it goes from here, but I think it's gonna be a great event. I mean, we got
Yeah, now you've never been, right, Nate?
No, I haven't. I meant to.
How many have we
Uh,
done? I should ask Billy. You've been at, I think, all of them.
At least done it since 21. So I think this is at least 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Maybe the fifth
Fifth year, yeah.
or sixth. I don't know if we started in 20 or 21. Because I had a memory pop up the other day that I hashtag ShedFest 2021. So I probably could look back at all my shirts I got. I got a shirt
Yeah.
from every year of it.
Yeah,
I think
so
this
do
is
I.
the fifth year.
Say I haven't attended, but I got a shirt for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did shirts again this year. So we did not do shirts last year, even though we had the event and we had it out in Wyoming County at Windy Brew.
Yep.
And so this year, a friend of ours, Cal Hassler, he's always followed us and come to our events with Pert Near Outdoors. And Cal decided he wanted to open his own place, start a brewery. So he did that, and he asked us.
I was gonna grab a shirt.
Oh, you want to show a shirt?
What's that?
Oh, Smokey, we gotta do that.
Oh, it's right here.
All right, we'll do
Oh,
it.
geez, they're bringing out
That's
more.
that's what he brought out.
Yeah.
That's what Andy gave us.
Yeah.
Or sorry to cut you
No,
off
that's
there.
all
I got
right.
distracted. So you were saying?
So we got Cal as Cal said, "Hey, if I open a place, would you guys do your events at my place?" And so we're like, "Yeah, sure." And we did them at Windy Brew. I mean, it was a nice spot. It worked out great for us. And Russ, the guy that was the master brewer there, he always hung with us and everything. So, but then he left, and we really didn't have a tie to that. And this facility's bigger. Ben's been to him, and it's tight in there. And Ben, poor Ben, he's doing his scoring, and he's in the back like storage utility area. There's no room to move. He's got a little like 2 foot by 2 foot area. He's working on all these horns, and so this will be nice. It's a nice facility. We went there last week, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday, and previewed it. And so so we're gonna be there at Cal's place, and he's thrilled to have us. And we got overflow. Hopefully the day will be. If the weather's great, we can use the outside. He's got what they call a beer garden out back, so it's a really nice area, and we can overflow can go there, or we could hold a whole event out there if it was a really nice day, right?
Yep.
So I guess to jump in a little bit on the scoring and the tightness of it. You're scoring the whole time. Did we talk to Andy?
I gotta reach out to Andy and
we
see
might-
if there's any other
we-
volunteer scorers.
We
could-
might be able to even tie in the Northeast Big Buck Club to this a little bit.
If anybody wanted to enter anything.
Which
Wonder if
Ben's an
Tanner-
official scorer, and if we could get
I bet Tanner would come out.
get a couple of them guys, and then people could officially get their deer scored there.
Yeah.
If they wanted to book them
And
and
they
stuff.
could book them there, and so their score could go to the Northeast Big Buck Club, and they would be entered for whatever prizes we have going, and then that would, kind of like the NDA situation. Someone shows up and, hey, I want to enter this. They keep the proceeds for their scoring entry, but they could still get their deer scored for the prizes that.
As long as we have some help, because Ben stays pretty busy.
I think.
But
That'd be cool.
if we
we'll get through it.
I would love to have some other scorers to help take pressure off you and let you be able to work the crowd a little bit too.
We'll be good.
Well, that, and I mean, if you have the Northeast Big Buck Club there, it's going to draw some attention and give them some
Absolutely.
publicity. I think Andy would.
Yeah,
actually
check out the shirts. They came in.
So we got our ShedFest logo 2025, Solitude Brewing, April 13th.
They're all green, right?
Olive green, yep. Olive green, kind of matching the colors on the logo. Kind of going with that kind of acorn forest color,
Looks
whatever you want
great.
to call it. And then we did Pert Near Outdoors, 100 Proof Whitetails, and then hashtag ShedFest 2025 across the shoulders. So
They look great.
yep, they came out great. Volcom shirts did them. They're out of right here local. It was like a 4-day turnaround from order to delivery.
And I think we're gonna going forward. If you want to purchase a shirt from us, and maybe we could have
If we have leftover,
if we have leftovers, we can do a limited amount, like just to sell them out on there. Because on that Volcom, it sounds like he'll sell your shirts with your logo on them for his cost, and then whatever you sell them for above his cost, he'll cut you a check and mail it to you.
Oh, okay.
So we might, going forward, people might be able to just we'll have a link on our thing. They'll be able to go over to the Volcom site,
Pick out the
click
shirt.
whatever
Yep.
size they want. That way, because
Takes you out of it.
Yeah, because you never know if you're going to need more 3Xs, or you going to need more XLs, or you're going to need
Yeah.
mediums.
Sure.
We gotta.
So you kind of come up with a balance, and it's hard.
So we put together a list. I mean, we think we have a pretty good size assortment, but we got 75 shirts, and we'll probably have 75 or better people there. So we're hoping that when you buy the shirts, they're going to be $20.
Yep.
And if you want to take a look at them, those of us that are there, Nate will be wearing one, Ben and Big Jim and Billy and myself. So we'll be wearing the shirts, and but we'll have them there, and you're going to be selling them, I think, working the front.
Yeah, I'll be the greeter, more or less.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
And we got the shirt only raffle.
So So if you purchase a shirt, you'll be entered to win a ground blind. What brand is that? Ground blind?
I think is it an Ameristop or is it a Rhino? Rhino.
It's a Rhino.
It's a pop-up, right?
Pop-up
100,
Rhino blind.
Yep. And we might throw together if we get some more stuff donated. We talked about throwing together like either a chair with it or something like that. So you got a little ground blind package kind of deal.
Yep.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And then
So you're gonna, when you buy a shirt, you'll get a ticket for that.
Yep.
So
buy
we'll have
two
a
shirts, you get 5 tickets.
Nice.
All right, we'll do it.
Yep. So if you buy one for you, buy one for the kids. There's 6 tickets.
There you go.
Hot damn.
Yeah,
Sounds
so
like
I
a
have
deal.
Ticket for that. We're gonna have cardboards that'll be up, I believe, at the entrance.
They'll be up near you somewhere.
Up near me. So the prizes for them, and then I'll have Bill, because it's his game, explain it to you. But it'll be there'll be buck huts, which is an elevated hunting blind. If
anybody wanted
was curious what a buck hut was.
If anybody wanted to look them up, they're the Millennium Q200 buck hut. So it's a 2-man elevated platform with an enclosure. It's
Platform's
soft side.
about like 6-7 foot.
No, it's better than that. It's 8 or 9 feet. It's
Yeah,
up
they're
there.
big.
They're high.
They're big.
I don't know if they're 10 feet, but they're close to
I think
it.
they're 8s.
Okay.
I want to say they're 8s.
And then we got a couple crossbows.
Yeah.
So did you figure out what brand crossbows would be?
They'll be 10-point, and I don't know the exact model yet, but they'll either be 10-point or Wicked Ridge, same company. But we'll have, and what we're going to do is bring 2 of those, and so we'll have 2 buck huts, 2 of the crossbows. We'll have 2 compound bows, brand new. I don't know what brand they'll be at. Huntworks is still working on that. They're putting together the stuff, and I'm picking it up Wednesday.
Nice.
But we're going to have enough things there that we'll have 5 boards and 6 prizes. And the thought being that
It's winner's choice.
Winner's choice. You take what you want, and if you don't want any of those 3 items, you can take store credit for the Huntworks and go down and get arrows, get hang-on stands, ladder stands, whatever you want. So yeah, they
or
work
start a
with us
bidding war and just say, "Hey, I won. Anybody want to buy
Who
this?"
wants to buy this? So yeah, we'll have.
So the game is when you walk in the door, you'll have these boards with a full deck of cards.
Well, they're lacking 2. We always pull the Ace of Spades and Ace of Clubs. So there'll be 50 cards on the board. They're $20 a piece, and the board it's a poster board, and the cards are taped on one end, but it'll be laying flat with the back of the card, and you write your name on it. For $20, you can put your name on a card, and when the board is full, then we take a deck of cards, minus the Ace of Spades, Ace of Clubs, and we have somebody draw a card, and then we flip the board over, and whoever's name
reveals whoever's
is on that card, they're the winner. So, and we'll just keep doing them. We'll have one going as long as people want to keep
maybe
playing.
An hour or something like that. We might run them.
When it's full, we'll sell it and we'll put another one out. We'll just keep them going. And like I say, if we do 2 or 3 of them, that's fine. If we do 4 or 5, that's fine too. So, but that's kind of how that game works, and it's nice because you don't have to wait for somebody to come around and sell you the tickets. You just go up front to the desk, see Nate, give him $20 of a marker, put your name on a card.
Yep. It's gonna be pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It'll be somebody but if we get busy, it might be somebody by Nate, but just go up toward the front. Kind of either, what depends. Crappy weather will be in the front. Bad weather will probably be out back in the beer garden. Or good weather will be out back in the beer garden. I'll rephrase that. So just kind of look for the setup. Check-in I think we'll still keep in the front, but games and stuff might be out back if the weather's good.
Right.
So if it's like today, we're gonna be inside.
So just so everybody knows, there's no fee to enter. You just come on over.
Yep.
And you don't have to bring a shed. If you don't shed hunt or you haven't been successful shed hunting,
Sure.
doesn't matter. Come on over.
It's just a sportsman's
Everybody's-
meetup.
Everybody, yeah, exactly. Everybody's talking deer hunting and telling stories and catching up with friends, and it's just a great time for everybody.
Yep. So, want to grab a couple comments.
Yeah, we'll catch up on those.
Bo said, "What's Nate drinking? A White Claw?"
want.
I think he sees your Celsius sitting there on the counter.
Celsius, Bo.
Yeah, that's his energy drink for the night. Brian House says, "Where's my appraisal? I got your appraisal, Brian. I just got to get a hold of you. I was out all day looking at ground again today. Been on ground on Monday. Just don't get a day off, which is nice. It's a good problem to have."
Yeah.
And then Bo says crossbows with a shocked kitty face. He smelled that word crossbows, and he's got to jump on it every time. Yep, Bo. Viewer's choice if you want a crossbow, kind of deal.
If I win one, I'm donating it to Bo.
Yeah, if we draw Nate's name, he's gonna donate it right to Bo. We have your address. We can send it right to your house. And that's kind of how we're gonna do the ShedFest, is to keep it simpler. It's gonna be for the general raffle. It's gonna be everybody's ticket goes in a big bucket, and then we're gonna draw the winner out, and then you get to pick your prize from the basket. That way we don't have to worry about a dozen different raffle baskets or anything like that. It's viewer's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if we have the door prizes, if they're going to be baskets this year, so you'll get a basket, and 100 Proof Whitetail is going to have one, and Pert Near Outdoors will have one. We have other Huntworks has given us one, so we'll have a bunch of baskets.
Yeah. So I guess for sponsors or whatever you want to call them, Pert Near, 100 Proof, Huntworks, Whitetail Properties. We're doing a basket or two. You're stopping by Doc's Tackle. They'll probably do something. We got
possibly Napa.
We do have a surprise. I'm not gonna give out the big donation. I'm not gonna give out the surprise donation. You guys will have to come and check out. We have a
nice.
a
You're gonna keep that secret.
That's under wraps. Nobody knows about that. I think Bill knows about it, and Nate. I think that's it. I haven't told anybody, even in the group chat. So we got a cool thing. We got to figure out what we're gonna do with that. Whether we do a card game or maybe a special like Blitz raffle or something on it, or something like that.
So we'll also
I'm gonna win that one.
Yeah.
We'll do a 50-50 as well. Everybody always
we'll do 50-50s.
Can't go wrong there. So we'll have some 50-50s.
Yep.
So we'll have guys out on the floor selling tickets.
Yep.
And every year the Upper Genesee chapter of the NDA usually comes to the event, and they bring some of their raffle boards and great prizes on these things, and they'll usually sell a couple raffle boards, whatever the crowd's into. So as it stands right now, they're deciding for sure as we speak at their meeting down in Wellsville. But as it stands right now, they're planning to come and take part and sell a couple boards to help us out.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be good.
Do we want to talk about like if we make money on this? Which, we're not doing it to make money ourselves. We're doing it to have a good time and people enjoy it.
And then any of the profits we're giving it to?
We're giving it to the Rochester Rotary Sunshine Camp, which is a camp for youth with disabilities and well, I guess,
it's a youth summer camp.
It's a youth summer camp for youth with disabilities, and they range, doesn't matter what it is, they take like all kids. So this camp
bunch
runs,
of different ages.
Yeah, all different ages.
Boys, girls.
Yep.
They have about 160-acre property there in Rush, and they have every outdoor activity that the kids could want to do. They have boating, fishing, archery. They have a zip line. They have hiking trails. So it's all supported by volunteer people donating money by donation. So we thought it would be good to give to that organization. Something different this year, and we've called them, and they're thrilled to death that we're going to be sponsoring, or they're going to be receiving the whatever proceeds we have, and hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
But we have some good raffles, and we're giving away great prizes. I mean, most everything on here for the card game on the poster card is you're about $1,000. I mean,
Close
the
to
buck hut's
$1,000,
$900, and
Yeah.
so they're
Yeah.
really good prices.
And when we say that buck hut, that's the blind, the elevated blind with the cover, the tower, the ladder. That's everything.
and the deck,
And the deck,
He's going
and
to
the
throw in
decking.
the platform too, so it'll be a
It's even
deck.
got the landing platform with it.
Complete.
So
Whew.
yeah, I bet you if we don't give it away, we'll end up some.
Those are-
Steve Dunnigan said if you don't,
You know what those are, Nate. They're what my dad calls the bird cages
Yeah.
that we got to get put up this
I looked
year.
into them before I ended up
Getting
what
one
I
for
want.
Christmas, right?
I ended up getting what's the name of that?
A sportsman guide or something.
Yeah, sportsman
Your
guide.
in-laws
It's
got you
like
for
a
Christmas.
7-foot elevated
Mm-hmm.
soft shell blind.
Yep.
But anyways, so with those, I don't think we've talked about what the prizes are for people who are fortunate enough to actually find sheds or a deadhead,
Yep.
or unfortunate enough to find a deadhead, depending
Yeah.
on how you're looking at it.
True. If it's
And
on your ground, right?
Yep.
so have we figured out what are we going to decide this there? What's prize is going to go with what category? Or
We were going to have we were going to award them. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Just going from what we discussed
Sure.
last week.
Yep.
So we would have the largest side, so
Mhm.
a single shed that somebody finds.
Yep.
So the biggest side,
Mhm.
biggest match set,
Yep.
best deadhead. We're not saying the biggest deadhead. We're gonna have the best deadhead, so there'll
Yep.
be some judgment involved.
Some points for uniqueness or something
yeah, character,
crazy. Yep.
things like
Sure.
that. And then the dinkiest.
Yep.
So, and last year I think the dinkiest was a horn.
It
I
was
don't
2
even-
or 3 inches or
yeah, a
something.
little
Yep.
bitty spike horn. So,
so now the people that
that
win
win.
these categories, are we going to set the prize for that category that day and they'll be aware of what they're going to win? Or should we, because I don't think these are labeled.
No, I don't
into
have them
what
labeled that, but these are
category?
just ideas.
Yeah.
But- so we're gonna. I can tell you one thing we're gonna have is a Millennium M50 portable tree stand.
Yep.
So we'll have a portable tree stand. I think we're gonna have some Tacticam cameras.
Got a really nice set of binoculars.
We got a set of binoculars.
Vortex, I think crossfire
They're
binoculars.
Diamondbacks, actually.
So we had talked about having.
Oh, they are diamond.
They're
Are they really?
Diamondbacks.
Even better.
So
I thought they were crossfires, but they're Diamondbacks.
And then as long as Jim Wilkes, if you're listening,
Yep.
as long as he comes through with his antler creation, he always comes up with a chandelier or antler fish or
Yep.
something kind of cool.
Antler
wild.
creation.
That'll be one of the prizes also.
So I think how we were going to do it was
Plus a
everybody's
hat
going to
and a
get a
shirt.
ticket that wins their category, get a ticket, and then whatever number's on the ticket, that's the order they get to pick their prize in. Kind of just to make a
So
simple pick choice,
Right.
or whatever.
so they can go up and take whatever they
Yep.
want.
That way, if because I think
and
we
if your
had,
ticket's the last one drawn, well, you get what's left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And they'll all be good prizes. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're all really nice.
So bring your best side, bring your
Yeah.
deadhead.
And you never know what's gonna.
Make sure the deadhead isn't too stinky.
Yeah,
If he
please,
is
please.
nasty, wrap him up or something.
Yeah. No, if it's
Or
if,
we'll just go outside and look at them.
if it's got bits and pieces on it, don't bring it in Solitude, please. We got a pretty nice place there.
If
And,
there's maggots crawling around,
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin their food because we
sampled that too.
Bill was nice enough to treat us to a sandwich there at our meeting, and I tell you what, it was good food, and it
Yeah.
smelled really good in
It
there
was
when we walked
delicious,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
had the chicken bacon ranch wrap. That was really good.
I had a
really liked
Reuben.
it. That looked good.
You want to catch up your board? I don't know if you get any comments.
No, new came.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to make sure and mention, if you come in and you bring in a shed, then you have to check in with Nate. And we have tags there, and we'll tag it and write your name on. Last thing
Yep.
we want to do is have somebody walk off with the wrong shed.
Sure.
We tag the sheds when you come in, and Nate will be doing that.
Yep,
Yep.
I'll tag the sheds, and then I'll bring it back to Ben or
I'll come grab it or vice
whoever,
versa.
Dallas,
Mhm.
possibly Tanner. It'd be nice if one of the
Yeah, I think
NBBC
I think
guys
I could
will
probably
show
get
up for
Tanner to
us
show up and
and have him bring some of the score sheets.
You know, one of the things that we've had in the past is that all the horns are in that back little area where you are, and the people that are there really don't, unless the owners of them take them out and show them
Sure.
around, they don't get to see them. So, we'll have to, when we get there and set it all up, we'll see if we might have a spot where we could put horns out
Display.
there, as long as where people can take
Yeah.
a look at them.
Yeah, we'll see. We got extra tables. We talked to Cal. We're just it kind of this is all new space for us, so we're trying to figure out one if we have bad weather spot, which we have a really nice spot if the weather's bad for us, and then we also, if the weather's good, we have a very large footprint that we can use, which is really cool.
And we have
So if we do get overwhelmed with antlers coming in,
Like last
and
year,
I know an antler isn't going to be best side, and someone
Or
says,
dank,
I
yeah.
want this one to come in for best side, and I already know it's not going to beat something that's already come in.
Yeah.
What do I do? I just tell the person, be like, well, I know there's one bigger. Do you still want it scored?
yeah, that's
Be
basically
like, this is a beautiful
Yeah.
shed, or do you just want to just let them go?
no. If
That's just a lot of work, because I'm trying to save them guys a little work with that too.
yeah, so I mean,
That-
you'll be able to get a pretty
Or
good
just
judge.
hand it to you, and you already
Yeah,
know. And
it's
you're like,
it's
yeah,
like all right,
that's
it's checked in, cool.
But they may
know.
somebody may want a score on it just to have it. Like if they get a really nice big side, they might like to know
Yep.
what they've scored.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I guess I would, if people want to drop them off, fine. But I mean, if somebody comes in,
Well, if someone comes in with a basket, what do I do?
Yeah, we're not
Well,
going to score every
Like
shed
20
in a basket.
sheds in
Yeah.
there.
Well, we had that happen last year, and the guys that came last year
Fucking
already
dope,
called Billy. They called him a couple days ago, and they said that they are coming to the event, but they are not bringing bushel baskets full of antlers.
Well,
They
we're
said
not
they
doing-
have one. They have one really nice set. I'm assuming it's a match set.
Yeah.
They're bringing one,
Gotcha.
and we'll score that. It was like, I mean, it was really cool what they brought, but you couldn't
Yeah.
even really appreciate them because you couldn't dig.
Well,
through
and
them.
the cool thing was last year, I think it was the single side. The single side winner was only, I think, by like 1 or 2/8. It was freaking close, dude. Last year, and you looking at them, it's like they're both really nice, but they were both nice for different reasons. I think the one had the better tine length, and the other one had more mass and more beam, kind of framey, and extra points. We do gross. We don't do nets. Nets are for fishes. So yeah, it's with the sheds and stuff. When we get them all in to start with, we'll start scoring them because we don't know what's going to come that day. But like you said, once we start getting into the pile, and if I got like a 60, 70 inch side or something like that, and somebody brings in like a 30 or 40, like if I have time, I'll score it, but it's going to get pushed to the back. Like I'd be happy to score it for you really quick or whatever if I have time, but it just depends on what we get for stuff.
And if everybody, I mean, if the people that do win one of the categories, I know everyone's got schedules and everything, and time's tough, but if you could hang out and with whatever deadhead, or best side or best set, just set them next to the prize you won on a table, and we can get a picture of the
Yeah.
prizes with the antler to post.
Yeah.
That would be much
Yeah,
appreciated.
usually at the end or whatever, when we're 3:30 or whatever, getting close to the end, that's when we do the prize giveaway. We'll do a last call for scoring, and then we'll call everybody up, do the prize pick or whatever, and then get the picture then when everybody's right there.
Yeah, we'd like to, get the winners for the smallest or the biggest or the best side, whatever.
Sure.
We usually like to get them together and do a group photo.
Yep.
Yeah, which we
So-
could do that all right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. So.
The other thing Billy mentioned to me that we did not discuss, the four of us, us and Jimmy, was kids.
Yep.
So he said, a lot of people bring their kids. What'd you guys plan for kids? I'm like, we didn't. So we're gonna have some prizes for kids, under 12.
Yeah.
So and folks will, every year they bring their kids. Some kids are there. There's not a lot, but it'll be nice. So the Hunt Works, who's really our major sponsor for the event, providing us a lot of these prizes. But they said they would give us some stuff for the kids. So they're going to give it to us, and then we can do a separate little drawing for the kids.
Yep.
So we're going to want to have a kid's ticket, and if you come in with a child under 12, let Nate know, and we'll get you a ticket. It doesn't cost anything. We're just going to.
Do we know what we're going to give them, or because I could put together a kids basket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do some kids raffles too and stuff like that. That was a
Are
good.
Nerf guns cool?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put together a kids basket.
Yeah.
Nate's like,
I
I'm
got
gonna
that.
play.
Get him a Nerf gun with like.
I've seen this
1,000
one. I was going to buy it for Owen, but he's not old enough yet. You seen them Nerf shotguns?
Yeah.
The double barrel Nerf shotgun? That thing's
Oh,
badass.
Billy's kids have the Nerf guns, and I bought them
yeah.
like I don't know. There's 250 of those Nerf bullets in a bag, about a bulk bag of them, and we have wars at the house. It's fun.
Do they got those machine gun ones?
Yeah.
With the coil up.
Yeah.
You just they're throwing 50 darts a minute.
They are fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeff Fox, that's another guy that scores for
I'll take care of
Northeast.
the kids'
So,
prize. You can put
Jeff-
me down for
Is
that.
Jeff coming?
Jeff, if you're still tuning in, I would definitely say April 13th, if you're available, we'd love to have a couple extra scorers from Northeast. I don't know if you want to put the word out. I got to get a hold of Andy too and see if we can get some guys there on hand to score. I got a feeling most folks won't want to put them in the book, but if you do want to put your deadhead or your shed in the book, we'd be happy to put them in the book for Northeast Big Buck Club.
So if somebody wants to bring their head here,
No, you keep that one so
All right.
you know
and
that.
you'll remember. Okay, you're doing a kids basket.
I know you like to keep
Yep.
it organized, so I just wrote it on there for you.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Which the organization is much appreciated.
Yeah, me and Nate need it. We need it. We need it.
if somebody wants to bring, their hat or a Euro mount or something to get it scored, do we want to get into that, or do you want to save that for an event that's specifically for that sort of thing?
No, I mean if they want
If
to
they want to bring it and show it.
if they want to bring it and show it, if it's a deer you killed this past year or something like that, and you want to bring it to the ShedFest, just when you come in, just say that, hey, this wasn't a deadhead find or whatever.
Yeah.
It's or if it's
And
one
if
that's
we-
a couple years old.
If we have time, then you can, one of the scorers will measure it up for
Yeah,
them.
especially if they want to book it. If they want to book it, we'll find time for it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this is all for the kids and for for the get together and the camaraderie side of it. And as scorers, we don't make anything either. So, but the nice thing when you get a deer scored and you book it, you get a subscription to the magazine. So you'll
Which
get
Ben is an official scorer, so
Yeah.
Ben can book it. We're hoping to get one other.
at least one.
I bet you we get Tanner. Andy might do it.
I bet Andy.
Dallas is an official scorer too. He can
Yeah, I
put
think
him in
he's
the
a
book.
New York scorer
Yeah.
from New York Big Block. Yep. So he could book it too.
That's a tougher one to get into.
It is a little bit
Yep.
tougher, and I think
You
they
gotta
net
have a
and
pretty
they net
symmetrical animal to get
and
into.
they net. They don't gross.
Right.
Yeah, we're
So-
in Northeast. That's
It's
why
gross.
I like Northeast. It's gross.
Yep, it's gross, and that's.
I do have a deer in New York.
Yep,
but-
you do.
So the other thing is parking. We
Yep.
should just let everybody know that there is quite a bit of parking right there at Solitude Brewing, but they have overflow lot ready for us that they typically use. So Ben's bringing up the map, and maybe you can show them on there, Ben.
So here we go. We got our. You should be able to see our screen. They'll be able to see it. So we have Solitude right here. It's right on 20A, Big Tree Road, where 28 turns into 15 there. Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah.
And then if you look right here on Thomas Drive, there's overflow parking here by the physical therapy professionals building.
And there'll be signs there. There'll be
Yep.
flags for parking.
Be flags for parking.
And then
so,
you can walk right in the back.
Yep, you can walk right in the back. I suppose you could always park at McDonald's too if you needed to, but we'll see how many people get there. I mean, we get 70 people there. It's gonna be pretty full up.
Door busting.
Yeah,
That's right.
folks be door busting. But yeah, so I do like this. I know it's the one thing that we do pay for with the podcast is obviously for the uploads and for the streaming software, but StreamYard's really nice. We can share screens, we can put videos in it and everything like that now that we've
Beautiful.
figured it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So, something I was going to ask you. So, what's Kale's thought on us bringing a few deer heads of our own just to show?
Yeah, because we have the
Or
portable
just to
stand
have
and stuff.
the,
No, he
add
would,
to the atmosphere, I guess.
he'd be fine with it.
All right. As long as we have like something to hang them on.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're not driving spikes in the wall and hanging them up.
No, we got the
What
I know we
what
will.
if I bring spackle?
Well, if you bring spackle, that's a
I
different
mean,
story.
if I like cover the hole before I leave.
Yep. But I think Tanner's
So no, we got a couple pedestal things that we can hang them
Sure,
off of.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got that. I'll bring
Maybe you
Dono because
bring-
that's a cool one to bring.
I don't know if
bring
you wanna
one,
hang-
I'll bring one.
Yeah.
Would you want to hang them in the back area where the scoring's going on so people can see them but not bump into them and whatnot?
I want to hang out with mine right up front.
All right, we'll put it right up front.
Yeah, we
Right at
got
the check-in.
we got a. It actually was off of a weightlifting set that we put a couple screws in. like Tapcon screws, and
And you hang them right on there.
hang it right on there because it's counterweighted.
Well, at least the bench is getting used now.
Yeah, it wasn't before. Nate went to that Bowflex.
I got the Bowflex now.
Yeah, he went to the Bowflex.
Which I need to.
What are we leaving out? Anything as far as logistics on the event?
I think that's about it.
Date?
April 13th.
Noon. to
And
4:30.
don't come before noon because the doors are locked. They don't open till noon.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to. The lake's
Line
right
up.
there.
Yeah, you can line up.
yeah,
You go check out the lake.
you can line up.
Go
out
to
front.
go to McDonald's. I mean, whatever
Get a
you gotta do.
McFlurry.
I think Shamrock Shakes will be gone by then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that pretty much covers the prizes. So this, the prizes are really, like I say, anything we make on it, we're donating to the Rotary Sunshine Camp. So please be generous with the raffles and great prizes. Thanks to the Huntworks and thanks to a lot of the other folks that are donating.
Mm-hmm.
And the baskets, typically the door prize baskets, I'm telling people we kind of want to be around $100
Yep.
for value. So, $75 to $100. So you're getting a good prize there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it'll be the same thing. There'll be one draw. We'll draw out of one bucket, and the first person up gets the pick of the litter, and second one, and so on. So.
Yep.
But yeah, it should be fun. It's a short event, really. We're wrapping up at 4.
Yep.
Place closes at 5, so they don't have to go home, but they can't stay there.
Yep. Well, Kale said they'll stretch it a little bit if
If the
it's
crowd's
if it's
hanging.
busy.
Yeah.
He says
But-
if he's making money, he'll stretch it. That's what he
Yeah. He said
In fact, that is what he said.
if he's making money and pouring beer, he said he can stretch it.
You can't blame the guy. I don't blame him.
So
People still buying food and beer.
So yeah.
Keep going.
So I guess the highlights, it's rain or shine. We got event space for both. It's free to come. You don't have to even have a shed or whatever with it to, get a chance at, prizes and everything else.
Kid
Just chill
friendly.
up. Kid friendly.
Family friendly.
Family event. Like I said, plenty of giveaways and prizes and everything like that for it. So yeah, it'll be a really good time.
Yeah, so we're I'm here as a guest with Ben and Nate on 100 Proof, and then Ben's going to share the audio file
Yep.
with me, and we're going to put it out on Pert Near platform.
Yep.
So that hopefully I'll have that out in a day or so, and
Yeah.
we'll just use this to try and promote the event. It's a new venue, and I know there's some people that probably won't join us that usually have from the Buffalo area. I see already that several of them from the Buffalo area are
Yeah,
coming.
I think
so.
last time
But
I
I think-
looked, I think we had like 60 people that had responded maybe or better to
Yeah,
the event. It was a lot. It was a lot
like
more
eight-
than I was
I
thinking.
think it was 82 when I checked last night.
Well, and that's the thing. Some people just come and go.
Yeah.
Some people don't hang out for the whole event. But yeah, it's definitely, I would say, grown since, like I said, we should look back and maybe Billy would know better, but I think 2021 at least, maybe 2020. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think back how far it's been. So, yeah, like I said, we're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff going on. Looking at how many
Now
people. Yeah, 84 interested, 21 for sure going. And that's just on the Facebook,
Right.
group. That's not counting other kids or whatever.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of people that I've talked to that haven't responded on there, but have told me they're coming.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Absolutely.
going to be a good crowd. I think we're going to have a great day, and really, it's all just about getting together and having fun, like you said. And we're going to give away some good stuff, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, hopefully, we have some money that can help the kids over at the Sunshine Camp.
Yep. So we got good
Now-
beer there at Solitude, and the food's available for purchase, and beer's available for purchase. We're not providing any of that right off, but
That's all through the.
that's all through Solitude and stuff like that.
And
But-
thanks to Cal for
For
hosting
hosting,
us.
absolutely.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
anybody that has not yet been there, you are going to love it. The place is absolutely beautiful.
The beer was good. I thought the food was.
The food was
phenomenal.
fantastic.
Yeah, whoever your chef is,
Yeah,
dude, is
done.
killing it in the back
He
room.
probably deserves a raise or
Yeah.
shit. But so one quick question I had was, so if someone shows up and they can't stay for the whole thing, but they enter, do you have to be present to receive one of the prizes? At least the category prizes.
Yeah,
If
I-
they-
Door prizes, I'm assuming probably present.
Present for door prizes. If somebody won and something happens and they have to leave and we haven't awarded it yet,
Just let us know.
that just give us their name and address and information.
Yeah,
Because
let
Ben will
us know.
know kind of who the winners are. If they're a winner and they got to leave,
Yep.
we'll just, we'll give them whatever's.
Yep.
And then same thing.
We can draw on their behalf, really, and,
Sure.
and then pick for them.
Sure.
Then same thing goes for the card board
The cards are
prizes,
going to be
or
pretty
do you-
quick. The
Gotta
cards
be
are pretty
present
quick.
to win.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
be
think
present.
basically everything's present to win for the most part.
And just so everybody knows, if they go out back to the beer, let's say it's very full inside and it's a decent day and you want to go out and check out the out back area, the hangout area, the beer garden, he calls it. You can do that. We've got, he has a fantastic sound system. There's speakers out in the beer garden.
Mhm.
We got a wireless mic. Billy will be emceeing the event and he can call out. So, you're not going to miss a drawing or something if you're out at the beer garden. So that's the good news.
Yeah, absolutely.
See
We
if
always
Tabor's
kinda-
free. You haven't come up there play his acoustic.
What's that?
See if Tabor's free.
Tabor? I don't know.
So I think that pretty much, I'm sure we're missing something. I don't know if Billy's on or.
Well,
if
we
he-
make it up as we go too.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get a hold of Justin Swank too, see if he wants to come up and play for a couple hours.
That's one. Yeah, EMD.
I don't know if the whole band will go, but
No.
Justin
Justin will
might
come.
come up and play.
Yeah, I
Him
think
and his
that'd be.
dad maybe.
that'd be
I could-
sweet.
I could reach
If
out to
you
them.
probably
He's
probably
probably
haven't
already
seen them.
booked.
Those are a little bit this far
Yeah.
north for you
Yeah.
to hear,
He's-
but
he's
they're
probably-
great local musicians.
They're probably already booked up.
You know,
They
maybe.
go all over the place.
What about, I don't know how long you go here. Do we have a little more time?
We are
Yeah, we're
at
only at 42.
42
We usually go
minutes.
for
We're
an hour.
hour-ish. Yeah, we got time.
Hot tips from the pros for shed hunting?
Out of the three of us, Nate's found the most sheds this year.
Have you?
It's not saying much. 4.
We ought to have Jimmy on here giving
Yeah.
hot tips.
I think out of the 3 of us, I probably found the biggest.
Did you find a good one?
Yeah, he found
I
that one
think it
from
was like-
Stretch.
When did we meet? Thursday.
Yeah. I
So
think
Sunday,
Yeah.
I found one. No, that one I got is bigger. Than
Oh
Stretch.
yeah, the one you got just the other day. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, the one I found Sunday is bigger than Stretch.
That one might give Jimmy a run for his money. That's a really big 4-point side. A really,
Really
big
big.
4.
I bet you his G2 and his G3 are pushing 10 inches.
both of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I think he's got like a 3-year-old kind of mass. I think he was a 3-year-old. I think I know what deer it is too. I think he's still alive. But yeah, he was nice.
Yeah, it's
It
last
was
year's
sweet.
shed,
Yeah.
not this year's. You found
was
it in the
buried.
edge under a bunch of brush.
I actually posted the video on
On the
our
100 Proof
on
page.
the 100 Proof Facebook page
Yep.
of us finding it. It was buried. All you could see was 3 tines sticking up out of the dirt.
Wow.
Yeah, lucky it was
pretty
10
cool.
inches tall, otherwise you wouldn't have seen them.
I know. They were buried.
Yeah, farmer probably picked it up out of the field. So what the fuck did this and throw
But
it up in the
I guess
hedgerow.
some of it depends on where you're shed hunting. I know I called my brother the other day. I said, "Hey, have you guys been over the farm in Lima yet?
Mhm.
Have you shed hunted over there?" He goes, "We haven't had a chance." And I'm like, "Well, I was thinking about cruising through there. I haven't been out there in years." But
Yeah.
I go, suggestions on like what area, like where would you focus? And he said, "Well, south side of the property." He goes, "The deer just seem to move out of the main farm on the north side, and they
Mhm.
go south
Yeah.
towards the swamp." He goes, I would check back by the swamp."
I think
So I think that's like the deer, and we have that at our camp. The deer, like they just, especially when you have we got snow early and it stayed on and it was cold. We don't have a lot of oak.
Mhm.
The oak's up on top and on the backside. So there was like nothing for deer. We weren't getting pictures. We weren't getting any signs. So back when the snow was still on, I was in February probably. My brother and I said they got to be back on the backside of the hill on the south facing slope, and there's oaks back there.
Yep.
So we went back there, and it was all pawed up and trails and deer sign everywhere. So, not that you couldn't find one on our part, like the deer move back in quickly when the snow breaks, right?
Sure.
But Billy always told me, he goes, "You're not going to find your sheds unless you're shed hunting where the bucks are."
Yep.
And I heard you say on episode 60 that in the brush you like where there's browse, right?
Yeah, I like that browse.
Thermal cover.
Thermal cover. I've seen a ton of sign this year out walking ground, stuff like that, showing ground. They were really packed into the evergreens like a traditional winter. The hemlock pockets, the
Yeah.
spruce pockets, and stuff like that. They really packed into those. So those thermal bedding areas have been really heavy deer sign this year. I do like the swamp areas. There's a lot of good, especially if it's good dogwood browse. I find a lot in red dogwood.
Yeah.
Actually, still have a couple little strips of dogwood swamp to walk on our piece. And then over on my grandmother's, I got some dogwood bits to walk to around the ditches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have a fair amount of ground to cover. Whether I'll get to it before the ShedFest or not, I don't know. My best side that I know of, we picked up. Tim picked that one up. So
it might be a surprise over at Grandma.
you never know. There could always be a surprise or a deer you didn't even get his picture and you find his shed.
I think the shed hunting is getting popular enough now that if you have like public ground that's fairly heavily hunted,
Public, you gotta get on early.
the guys are going to be through there already. And it was like I hunt coyotes with a group of guys, and we hunt a couple times during the week. The retired guys get together and we go chase coyotes with hound dogs, but there's some ground that we're hunting just loaded with deer. I mean, loaded. And, the dogs will be working an area and 40, 50 deer will bust out.
Move them out, yep.
And so, you're in there working and hunting and you're traveling through this, there's all sorts of sign. And I said to the guy, the houndsman, the guy that owns the dogs, I said, I cannot believe I haven't stumbled across a shed here. We just finished, end of March. I go, I have not found a shed. I'm looking when I'm out here. And he goes, oh, you aren't going to find sheds in here. He goes, the farmer, the guys that own the land, we coyote hunt it, but they deer hunt it.
Yep.
And he said, they're out here. They've already picked them up,
Gotcha.
So, and that happens, right? Like you look at Jimmy, the haul that Jimmy and those guys had over at the farm.
That was great.
On Sunday, I mean, they just like cleaned them up. And I'm not going to go there now. I was going to go over because I knew they hadn't hunted it yet. But what would you, if somebody wanted to get out and give it a try, like what would you recommend or
have permission?
Yeah,
That's
permission is a good start, Nate. That's a great place to start the conversation. Yeah, I would definitely say permission.
If you don't have permission, ask.
The other thing I would say is 20 feet from the guy next to you. Really scour that. That's something that me and Nate, he busts me all the time for. Because when I bring people out of the farm, it's really thick on our property. So to keep people close so we don't miss anything, and we still do. But Nate always jokes, 20 feet, and he yells at me.
What do you get, like a brush lot and just everybody go through it?
It's like a big drive.
Yeah, it's like a big grid search drive,
Grid
kind of
search,
like, it's not 20 feet, but Nate's, that's the running joke is 20 feet.
Yeah, we always hope to find them like laying out in an open field.
That doesn't happen
That
that
doesn't
much.
happen a lot.
No.
No.
All the ones I found this year were in the woods.
Yeah, in the brush, in the
the
cover,
more-
and the browse.
The bedding. The big one I found was actually a hedgerow. So even just walking hedgerows,
Really?
Yeah,
just walking hedgerows, because I mean the deer travel up and down the hedgerows.
Just browse along.
They'd rather browse the hedgerow or walk along the hedgerow because they have back cover instead of just at least bucks, because I mean, what do you really see majority like crossing an open field though?
Yeah.
I mean, the bucks are usually
Working the edges.
They're working the edges. If you have a hedgerow connecting woodlot to woodlot, chances are if there's a buck around, he's probably traveling that hedgerow, right?
Yep.
So hedgerows, or if you can find those little thick brushy patches out in the middle of a field that no one ever thinks of hunting, well, he's probably sleeping in there.
Yeah. Well, that big,
probably find some sheds in there.
deadhead with the split G2 we were looking at before the show. I found him in one of those that little island on Grandma's out in the middle of the field. That's where he was wadded up dead.
I mean,
Was in that little island.
Me out of like just the permission ground that I've been able to shed hunt. I mean, most sheds I've found are on Ben's Piece, but that's 250 acres of managed ground. That's
220.
your success rate's going up at that point of finding
Sure.
a shed.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I hunt is other people hunt, or it's it's permission. It's all ag. You have people coyote hunting it. You have goose hunters. You have turkey hunters hunting different pieces, and whatever. But honestly, the most success I found in those little more pressured spots are those hedgerows and those little thick pockets.
What about big woods? Kind
Oaks.
of like
Open?
Just
Like
fine.
Open
Oaks.
hardwoods?
Oaks.
Yeah, probably oaks.
I would say oaks. Oaks or some
south facing
beech nut.
slopes.
south-facing slopes, maybe some beech nut if it's a really hard winter and they need it, or in those big woods areas where there's a bunch of blowdowns, maybe a recent timber harvest. There's got to be some food
Where there's
value.
successional growth.
Yeah, there's got to be food value for this time of the year is huge.
The red oaks, they yielded
Water.
very, very well, and they're still eating them now. I got a trail camera up
Yep.
there, and we got a logging road that's just like marbles, covered with acorns, and the deer in there every day,
Yep.
feeding, and And that's where we found them. I mean, they'll dig through the snow for that, you
Yep.
know, for sure.
So traditionally, too, the reason behind the red oaks is because white oaks, either typically, not always, but as a rule, white oaks will germinate that first fall. They'll germinate in the fall. That's why they drop earlier typically than your reds too. So they'll either rot or they'll germinate. Reds don't germinate until the following spring. So that's just kind of a little bit of life cycle and why they're going after the reds. Because traditionally during season, they're eating the whites up too because they're lowering that tannic.
Yeah.
So they're not as
And as it gets
they're
later
sweeter, I guess, is the
As
easier.
it gets later in the winter,
Oh,
I mean,
they need that.
they'll
They
eat
need the
whatever
carb.
they have to, but
Yep.
the red oak, they do get better. I mean, in
Yep.
the spring, this time of year, you always find where the deer are just hammering them.
Yeah. And I've seen people that do hunt big woods has been oak ridges, and the little pockets next to oak ridges that either timber harvest, maybe you had some blowdowns or something like that. Ash borer die out, even in some of those kind
Those
of
thickets,
wooded
yeah.
areas that where the ash are dying out and letting some sunlight in, because there's food there. I mean, it's all going to be either food or
Food-based,
cover.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
And just a little food for thought. You don't have to dress in your hunting gear to go find shed antlers.
Oh yeah, whatever's.
The antlers aren't going to see you and run away.
Yeah.
So you don't have to.
Yeah, don't wreck your nice Sitka gear.
Don't
Going
wreck
out
your
there
nice
brush
Sitka
busting.
gear, ripping it out there, or Osseo, or whatever you're running, first light. Don't go out there and rip it all up looking for sheds, because the sheds aren't going to run from you.
Yeah,
You're not trying to hide from the sheds.
I run brush pants, a hoodie.
I wear what I'm wearing right now.
I got a couple tips. Backpack with water. Backpack with water. Shitter paper in the backpack. You never freaking know.
Unless you got a lot of maple leaves around.
Yeah. No, I'd like to wipe. I'd like to wipe with fucking toilet paper. Personally, if I'm out there.
Paper towels.
Paper towels work. The blue shop towels.
Blue shop towels.
If
you're a heavy.
What's the other thing? The other thing that's been I know a lot of people say this word, game changer.
Ben Gay.
Oh, no. Game changer.
Oh,
Ben
A. I thought you said
Ben
Ben
A,
Gay.
sorry.
Why are you bringing Ben Gay out there?
Arms get sore from picking up all them antlers. Go to Tractor Supply. They got them right now, 2 for $10. This is your insider tip. Grab yourself a pair of pruning shears for walking through them briar patches.
Cut your way through.
Cut your way through. And
because we all come across that deer trail that's got 2 or 3 of those red or green rose bushes hanging over, and you got to walk under them, try and step on them. It's just so much.
Walk back through.
Clip, and just go.
Yep. Well, Nate and me were joking this year, and Nate's like, he's like, looked at me and he's like, got the snippers in there and go tink tink, and I look over and he's looking down at him. He's like, I know why you have everybody come out here. You just have everybody come out and trim your deer trails every year for you as you're walking through the ground.
At least you're supplying the trimmers.
Yeah, no,
we don't have to bring our own trimmers.
Yeah, when people get there, I roll out 6-8 pairs of them, and I say, all right,
take these with you.
Who's got?
This is for your safety.
Yeah, who's got trimmers? Binoculars. I usually got a couple pairs of binoculars available for guys.
I took mine home this year.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I'm keeping them.
Well, like I said, they're 2 for $10 right now at Tractor Supply, so you can grab yourself your own pair of snippers. Binos are a good one.
Binoculars. Actually, I like the monocular.
Yeah, you can put it.
It's just simpler. You can shove it in your pocket, like your back pocket, when you're walking.
Yeah. Doesn't weigh as much around your neck. Yeah.
I know a lot of people like those kangaroo pouch things. I can't get used to those things. I can't hunt with one. I can't.
I didn't like it.
It feels so. It's like always. It's not in my way, but I just mentally feel like it's in my way.
I'm always worried about shooting with that. They're like it's gonna like.
Yeah, especially with the bow, and I'm like even though it's not gonna affect it, because I've seen people do it, and I see how the string lines up with everything. I'm like, it's just a mental thing with me. I can't get past it. That pouch.
Yeah, that's what I carried for years. Was a monocular. I still have it from years
I carry a monocular in my.
I have.
Pack.
That's my go-to for turkey hunting is a monocular because it goes right in my freaking vest right here in the pocket, and I don't have to lug the binoculars around.
Hauling those heavy binoculars around.
And I don't carry an expensive set. I think the one I got, I think my dad got me for Christmas. It was like a cheap Walmart one.
Maybe a Bushnell or something.
Just enough so you can get a little magnification on something you got to look at. That way you're not scoping everything.
Yeah, we're not glassing 300-400 yards. You know, we're not glassing 300-400 yards. You know, especially for sheds, you're maybe looking 20 yards or if that in front of you. You know, but yeah, I've always
Good
had
tip.
better success on overcast days rather than bright sunny days. I feel like they just kind of get
Yeah, I think
washed
you're right.
out.
You can't see in the woods that well.
There's
on a
too
sunny-
much pop, too much with going
Well,
on with your
that
eyes.
and then depending on the direction you're walking, it's hard to see when you're walking
Yeah.
towards the sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sun at the back if you
Yeah.
can. Nate always talks. We walk the farm north south. Nate always tells me, he's like, one of these years we gotta walk it east west. He's like, and we'll find all the old ones that we keep walking over.
I kind of got a cool story. So, in a previous episode during season, Liza shot that buck.
Yep.
And we went and we looked for it that night. You and your dad came out. We didn't have any luck. You and me went back the next day and
Body
searched
searching, yeah.
just body searching. Hopefully, maybe find something. Well, that day I lost my sunglasses out there. Hit a limb, whatever, flew off. I have no idea where they were. Well, I pulled cards to see if any bucks were still holding, or just to look at them.
Yeah.
So I'm going through, and I see a couple deer. I sent you the picture, a couple bucks that still had both their antlers. Pretty nice. I don't know, 2.5, maybe
Don't tell me
3
you're
year old,
wearing your
6 point.
sunglasses. Okay,
The story's
I
not
ain't buying it.
No.
man.
I was
So-
like, son of a
And then there
gun.
was like a 4 point still holding, and this was almost like March 20th. So I was like, I said, and I already walked it once. I was like, if I find it in a couple hours, I said I'm gonna go out there and walk that bedding again. So I did. I found a couple hours. It was Monday afternoon. I went out there, walked that bedding. What do you know? I stumbled right across my sunglasses.
Did you?
I found them. I walked right up on them. I was like, there they are. And they were expensive. They were Oakleys. They're expensive
geez.
glasses. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found them. So that was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
No
I
shots.
was bumming for a while that I lost.
Saved you
them
200
glasses.
bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got out to the
I was more
lease
happy I
too.
found them than that.
Yeah.
Them sheds.
Yeah, we got out to the lease the other day too. Got some clover frost seeded.
Found a dead head.
Found a dead head.
Shed.
A shedded out dead head,
Shedded
which is
out.
kind of cool.
I think the thing was like
Yeah.
6 years old.
Oh yeah, it was moss growing out of it. Really cool. I saw a fisher
Mhm.
up on the top in there with Nora. Yeah, it was cool. Had the kids with us. Had daddy daycare for the day. That was
I'm
take
thinking
'em
about
out.
changing the name of the podcast.
daddy daycare.
It's a daddy daycare.
Hunting Daddy Daycare.
Yeah.
Daddy Daycare Hunting Podcast.
Yeah, it's not
Yep.
too late to seed. I see you got a ton of seed here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
finally got all my bags emptied out for the year and all the bins made up, and what I got there is what I got there. So I got
Does that include the brassica?
no, that's all just the clover seed and the chicory seed, perennial powerhouse, the 6-pack, and the nitro fix.
So I got all mine down. I got this seed.
Did you
from
get it all
guys.
spread out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
we'll
so-
see what the.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got. What do we got?
I
over
would have
there?
liked to have done it like 2 weeks ago, but it is what it is. I got it
That'll
done.
be
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
3
This
acres.
rain and stuff
I did
will
it the
drive
next day
right
after I
in.
got it. I did it Friday.
Well,
Yeah,
this rain and
That's
everything
right.
will
We
drive
got
it right in.
3 acres of the 6-pack. We got 4.25 acres of the nitro fix. We got I don't know how many of the perennial powerhouse over there. There's a whole pile of that, and then because nobody's really been buying the perennial powerhouse actually. I don't know why. It's $10 more. Must be.
Mhm.
And then we got looks like 3 acres of straight chicory over there. So if you're top dressing your clover plots with chicory or anything like that, we got chicory. We got clover blends. The 6-pack mix has got 5 different clovers and the chicory as well in it. So yeah, and if you get a hold of us, I can tell you, try to problem solve what you got for a plot and try to fit the best fit for you. But yeah, each one kind of has their own little niche and their own little kind of thing they bring to the table with it.
Yeah.
So
And you could, if anybody, it's not.
we'll have that.
local to you,
We'll
you-
have that over there at the
You could
at the
bring it with
ShedFest
you,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm probably gonna bring it to the ShedFest just because I'll throw it in a bin in the back of the truck and sell it out of the back of the truck like a traveling
crack
salesman,
dealer.
like a crack dealer. Get your 6-pack over here.
Deer
Little
crack.
nitro fix.
That's
Come on.
Great.
Yeah,
Should have called it Whip It.
yeah. Buy some whippets. But yeah, no, I think we're pretty good shape for ShedFest.
A little recap on the runnings things. We haven't been on since.
Man, that was a good event. We did the scoring event at Runnings since the last episode.
The Northeast Big Buck Club scored 49 heads.
We scored 49.
49 heads.
49 heads. Winning
Were
the
you there
buck.
for the whole day?
No, what was it? 8 to 4?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's the whole
8 to 4.
day.
Yeah, it's a whole day.
That's a
pretty
day.
much.
Talked to a lot of people. We had the podcast table set up. We
Yep.
had I always do this. Jerry.
Yep. He
Did
was
I
set
say
up
it
with the
right?
hammer bullets. He does a bunch of reloading and
Yeah.
stuff like
I always
that.
want to call him Gary. It's Jerry.
Yep.
But
It's
he was
Jerry with a
there.
G. That's why you want to call him Gary.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Dyslexic or something.
Yeah.
And then Andy, our buddy there, he was nice enough. Said he gave us this in a bag. He said we had to try it on the show. I think
He got it right down there at Old Smoky.
he
down
got
in
it
Tennessee.
right from the Old Smoky
really?
Distillery. So shout out to Andy and the Northeast Big Buck Club for giving us this. It's the O&B Reserve Tennessee Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 94 proof. So we're gonna.
I bet it's
Right on.
good.
I have a little snort of
Are
it.
we about to find out?
We're gonna find out. Would you like some?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I got Ben gets mad at me when I do
you
it.
could do it. Good cork pop.
It was a little weak. It would have been better if you got all the plastic off.
Well, I can only do so much. I thought I was just opening it for you. I'm sorry. So I know people are gonna probably say it's from Tennessee. It's not bourbon. So you can make bourbon anywhere as long as it's made in America. That's good. So bourbon can be made anywhere. New York, Tennessee, as long as you make it in America with 51% corn, aged in a new white oak barrel, and you don't add anything other to it for coloring or nothing like that, just all natural, you can call it bourbon, even if it's made in Tennessee or New York. You know, Black Button, they make good bourbon.
They make real good stuff.
Pete's got good stuff over here at Smoking Tails. He makes bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of good New York ones. So,
To Andy,
to Andy,
To
thank you.
and
join us
ShedFest.
at the
to
ShedFest,
ShedFest.
Yep.
helping out all those kids at the Sunshine Camp.
It's not bad. Now, is that different from the O&B we've sampled here, or is that
That's
the same?
better than not bad. That's really good.
That came off good.
It's smooth. Is that a different one than the O&B you had a while back? I got O&B.
Look, he knows exactly where it is amongst those 200 bottles.
We're not
Says-
gonna get into that.
No. So that's funny because Nate'll joke because we play a game down here called Pick a Pour.
Is it the same one or is it different?
It's a different one. It's a different batch. So, we'll do that. I'll have Nate pick a bottle, and usually I can at least get it down to the distillery. Maybe not the specific bottle,
Oh,
but
really?
I can get it pretty close to. Because each distillery, just like every,
Anything else? they
has
have
its
their
own
certain
recipe and
little-
has its kind of flavor. So, and there's some dude where I'll just, okay, that's that, But usually I lose more than I win. But at the end of the day, I still get to.
You still get the drink, so it's
Yeah, I
score
still
or
get
win.
I still get to have something, have a pour. So, but yeah, that's what. And the reason I started doing this was to have more folks on, with the podcast and stuff like that, and have them because a lot of guys come down and they're like, man, I've never had Weller's or Buffalo Trace or whatever it
Well,
is,
that was your idea of
the collection kind of thing.
collection
Yep.
going above and beyond.
Yeah, going
Yeah, it definitely goes
Going
above
deep.
and beyond.
going deep. It's a little deep. So.
Well,
Well,
hey, on behalf of Billy and Jimmy and all of us at Pertinier, thanks for jumping in and
Yeah.
taking the bull by the horns on this ShedFest event. We appreciate partnering with you guys, and I appreciate you having me out here to
Yeah.
join you on the podcast. It's good to finally get out here.
Yeah, it's good to have one of you guys on.
Yeah. No. So. Yeah, I think.
We were actually pretty excited. Well, Ben told me about it, and I was pretty excited about it. And
Mhm.
told me the news.
Yeah, I think the first time I met
We
Billy.
can, I think there's definitely more we can grow on as
Yeah,
the years
do it
go.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, first time I met Billy, he came out here for a Pertinier episode. I think that was before we were even doing the podcast. When I first met Billy, he came out. He was doing a
I was on a Pertinier
call to one of your
podcast.
guys' clients out here
Yeah.
or something, so he
Yeah.
was out this way.
I was on a Pertinier podcast with you
Yeah.
in your garage at one time.
That's true.
Were you?
Yep.
Yeah. I told Billy you were the brains, I was the muscle. And he goes, that's scary.
We make it work. We make it work, man.
That's right.
But
Good
yeah.
partnership.
Yep, absolutely. So
So, did we answer Bo's question about does the shed
that's
have
a
to be
good
from New York?
that's a good question to wrap this up on. Does the shed have to be from New York?
'Cause I don't remember talking about
We've always kind of done it on an honor system. The whole event is on an honor system, because we're not giving out cash
Right.
prizes and stuff like that. So it's this season's find of a shed, is what we say, or a deadhead.
That could be a category.
Yeah.
Best out of state
Well,
shed.
Yeah.
We've had guys bring.
We've had
guys in the past, and I seem to recall that Billy told people as long as it's this year's shed,
this year's pickup.
it's
Yeah.
like we're not going to split hairs if if you hunt,
Yeah.
you got a camp in PA and you picked it up.
Yeah,
there.
because we're not saying that just because you picked it up in a suburban area, it doesn't mean it doesn't qualify either.
right,
So
because we got guys that bring in a lot from non-hunting suburban areas.
yeah, we have stuff that came in last year, dude. That if you'd told me it came from Iowa, like I could have seen it easy.
Yeah, you would
Illinois
not
or
have,
Iowa. I mean,
you would not have thought they were New York bucks.
yeah, no. So
So what's the answer?
yeah, I think it's totally, it's fine.
As long as it's this year's shed.
As long as it's
Yeah.
this year's find, we've never had a problem with it.
Yeah, we're not splitting hairs over that. Everybody'd
No.
love to see it if it's a great big one.
Because next thing somebody would be like, well, that one's not New York or that one's not New York. Show me the pin. Show me the picture.
And even if it's
No,
not,
if it's this year's find, bring it along.
Bring it along.
so
Absolutely.
So it has to be this year's find to be entered.
Yep.
Right.
But you are welcome to bring sheds from the past that you're
Yeah, and we've
are
had
impressive or proud of that you just want to show.
Exactly.
off.
Absolutely.
We've had guys come in. My brother brought a bunch of them.
Know who's gonna win best freaking deadhead. You know who's gonna win it. It's gonna be Austin with the once in a lifetime find. That's
Well, that
I don't know if
probably
you know about that one, but we'll let you guys come to the show to see this one. This is a once in a
I
lifetime
forgot.
find.
He's probably gonna bring it. That's
That's best.
Is he coming?
Yeah.
Well, his dad is Jim.
Yeah, his
Austin's
dad's Jim.
dad is Jim.
Yeah, we'll show you a picture of it. I want guys to actually see this and appreciate it in real life because it's insane.
Yeah,
It's
this
crazy.
is stuff you see on like,
TV.
TV.
Well, that's why the
In New
other
York,
than the
period.
camaraderie of the event, what
It's
I
the
really get a
stories.
kick out of is seeing some of the stuff that comes in that's just unbelievable.
And the
These sheds are
stories.
yeah, it's great.
And he actually, Austin found that coyote hunting with dogs.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was a
That
coyote
was.
find when he found that one. So, all right,
Cool.
last minute wrap up. April 13th, noon till 4-ish. We're doing a bunch of prizes, giveaway, everything for ShedFest 2025, Pertner Outdoors, and Hunter Proof Whitetails. Shout out to our sponsors of definitely got Huntworks is basically our main, I guess, title sponsor, if you want to call them that. They're doing a ton for us, and we can't thank the Dunnigans and all those guys enough for all they do for this.
Did we talk to Mike?
I got to get over and talk to Mike this week. We got a couple other folks that'll probably throw together baskets, and we'll shout out all of our ones at the thing, but just the folks that have donated so far. Whitetail Properties, Pertner Outdoors, Hunter Proof.
Maybe I can get Billy's Birdhouse to donate a birdhouse.
A couple birdhouses from Billy's Birdhouses would be cool. Yep, so NDA will probably be there in some capacity. If not selling boards, they'll be there hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Solitude Brewing, again, thank you for hosting the event. And just looking forward to having a good time with everybody. And I'm looking at the weather, man, and I'm waiting to see what it looks like.
See it break.
I'm hoping it's just 55, 60, nice hoodie weather,
Yeah.
mix of sun. Doesn't have to be Bluebird Day or nothing, but I just think a nice day to use that outdoor space. Would be
I'd like
really
a little
cool.
cooler. And we get the fire pit going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Now you're
55
talking.
fire pit. All right, guys.
Make it like hunting
Hey.
camp.
Thank you, Bill, for stopping out.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for checking this out. This is available on any major podcast platform. And until next time, be safe, shoot straight. See you at ShedFest.
See you at ShedFest, everybody.